The Revolution of November 1, 1954 was not a mere reaction, but the culmination of a resistance that lasted for more than a century. In 1830, French troops landed on the Algerian coast, opening a dark chapter of history, a chapter made of colonialism, oppression, and an attempt to erase identity. The Algerian people suffered under the yoke of occupation, which confiscated lands, turned the population into second-class citizens, and combated the Arabic language and the Islamic religion. But the flame of resistance was never extinguished, from the resistance of Emir Abdelkader at the beginning of the occupation, to the sporadic uprisings and revolts throughout the years, the people accumulated pain and prepared for liberation. By the middle of the 20th century, after the Second World War had weakened France and the winds of liberation had blown across the world, the Algerians understood that the path to freedom could only pass through armed struggle. And on the night of November 1, 1954, the first shot of the revolution rang out across the entire Algerian territory. The Proclamation of November 1 appeared, the historic document that announced the birth of the National Liberation Front, and defined the objectives of the revolution: national independence, the establishment of a sovereign Algerian state, and the adoption of armed struggle as the only means to achieve the goal. From the very beginning, the revolution faced an immense colonial military machine. But the will of the people was stronger. The mountains were transformed into bastions for the Mujahideen, and clever military operations were launched against French posts and barracks. France confronted the revolution with campaigns of bloody repression, applying a scorched earth policy, and using torture and collective extermination, as during the massacres in Sétif, Guelma, and Kenkila on May 8, 1945, which were a crime that paved the way for the revolution. But the revolution was not only military, it was also political. The National Liberation Front succeeded in internationalizing the cause at the United Nations and won worldwide sympathy. The voice of Algeria was heard in international arenas. The secret of the revolution's endurance was the entire Algerian people. Men and women, young and old. The people offered more than 1.5 million martyrs, who paid with their lives for the price of freedom.